Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is Ricky. For those of you watching the replay, I'm doing this as a live video in the Higher Self Leadership Facebook group. I'll put the information to join that group in the description of this video. And I thought I'd share a video talking about the most commonly asked questions about living life as the higher self. These are some of the questions I get from different clients and people I've worked with in retreats and events and other activities to help people understand what does it really mean to live as a higher self? What does it really mean to expand beyond our lower self? And now I'm just going to say, be totally transparent and say, I'm still learning what it means to live as my higher self. I'm still learning what it means to live as my true, authentic higher self. And it's a continual learning experience, and I think that I've been blessed with some philosophies and some teachings that can help me guide others to understand this as well. And so before I answer the questions, the most commonly asked questions about living life as a higher self, I'd like to give a little bit of an explanation, my understanding of what it means to live life as a higher self. And so when I'm living life as my true, authentic higher self, I'm not up here in my head trying to manipulate and analyze life. I'm living here in the heart and able to flow with life and trust life and experience life in the present moment. I'm able to live in the divine flow. I'm able to guide my life through my intuition, which I believe the higher self and the intuition are one and the same. When I'm living life as my higher self, I'm able to respond to life with consciousness instead of reacting to life with ego, if that makes any sense. I'm able to experience life here instead of trying to understand life up here. I'm able to feel life here instead of think life up here. Some of the symptoms of living as my higher self are I take action on my most important goals and dreams because I can feel what the right actions are. I know what actions to take because I can feel them in my heart. When I'm living life as my higher self, I'm not a victim of my subconscious blocks. I'm not a victim of my limiting beliefs because I have the recipe, I have the tools and the resources to overcome my limiting beliefs and create massive change in my life. When I'm living life as my higher self, I don't get triggered by the people that mean the most to me. I don't get triggered by my family. I don't get triggered by my worst enemies or the people who get under my skin. I'm able to experience those relationships and respond to those relationships from here instead of responding them up here. When I'm living life as my true, authentic, higher self, I'm not living in scarcity and poverty mindset. I'm not worrying about whether or not I can afford something. I'm not holding myself back out of fear of not having enough, because when I'm living life as my true, authentic, higher self, I know that what I want and need is on the other side of giving, of asking, and allowing myself to fully receive. So that's just my understanding of what it means to live life as my true, authentic, higher self. You might have a different understanding or a different explanation of what that means for you, and that's okay. These are just my understandings and perspectives. So here are some of the questions I get asked from people about living life as their true, authentic, higher self. And these questions might be, you might ask yourself these questions sometimes, and you might wonder if these questions are applicable to you, and if you check in, it might make sense. And so the first question is, what if I don't believe in myself enough to actually change? Let me know by show of likes if this question applies to you, or let me know in the comment section. What if I don't believe in myself enough to change? So many people are worried, like, well, what if I just don't believe in myself enough? What if I don't believe in my potential? What if I don't believe in my abilities? What if I don't have enough faith in myself to change and to actually have those changes stick? And I'd like to respond to that by helping you understand what it means to believe something. So my understanding is that a belief is the result of an experience. A belief is a program that's created in result to an experience. So those of you just joining, I'm answering the most commonly questions asked when it comes to living life as a higher self. And the first question is, what if I don't believe in myself enough to change? So a belief is the result of an experience. A belief is something that happens after we experience something. So I can't believe in myself to change if I haven't changed yet. I can't believe in myself to become a millionaire if I haven't made $1 million yet. I can't believe in myself to be a champion if I haven't won a championship yet. I can believe in my ability to train. I can believe in my ability to learn. I can believe in my ability to overcome my challenges, but I can't really believe in myself to do something that hasn't happened yet. So it's important to just let off the pressure. Let that go. You don't need to believe in yourself before you achieve something. It's not necessary to believe in the transformation before it happens. It's only necessary to believe in your ability to take it one step at a time, which you're doing right now. If you're breathing, you're taking life one step at a time. You're taking life one breath at a time. You don't need to believe in yourself in order to change. You only need to believe in your ability to take life one step at a time. So people ask the question, what if I don't believe in myself enough to change? Well, you don't have to believe in yourself to change. You only have to act as if you believe in yourself. You only have to take life one step at a time. You only have to take it one breath at a time. That's all that's necessary. To really change, we just have to take life one step at a time. So the second question is, what if I can't stop my mind from negative thinking? Give me a show of hands or a comment below if this applies to you. What if I can't stop my mind from thinking negatively? How can I live as my higher self if I can't stop my mind from thinking negatively? And well, if you've been following me for a while, you've already heard me talk about this, but our thoughts are a product of our core beliefs. And our core beliefs are formed all the way back in our childhood. So if I have negative beliefs about my performance, or I have negative beliefs about my ability to create financial success for myself, or if I have negative beliefs about my ability to be in a happy relationship, or to be healthy, or to be happy, or to create success in my life, those beliefs are going to generate negative thoughts. See, negative thoughts are not actually a bad thing. Negative thoughts are a defense mechanism. It's my ego or my lower self trying to protect me from a dangerous situation. A negative thought is a natural manifestation of my ego telling me, hey, this could be dangerous, so maybe you shouldn't do it. So it's actually not a bad sign. It's just a sign that I'm expanding myself. I'm expanding beyond my comfort zone. I'm expanding beyond what is normal and familiar for me. This is the same if you've ever, let me know, a show of hands, if you've ever felt like an imposter or a fraud in your life and business. If you've ever felt like a fraud or an imposter in life and business, then this is the same thing. And let me know in the comment section, is the audio coming through okay? Or are you able to hear everything I'm saying? Is this video working for you right now? I'm on Facebook Live. I know that sometimes Facebook Live, it doesn't always work, so I would love for you to let me know in the comment section. Are you able to hear me right now? Is this all coming through for you? Just let me know below. And so again, the question is, what if I can't stop my mind from negative thinking? So do I need to stop thinking negative in order to live life as my higher self? And the truth is, as you're becoming your higher self, as you're learning to live life as your higher self, as you're transforming your core programming, the negative thoughts begin to stop. The negative thoughts are a product of misaligned core programming. So as the core programming is changed, the negative thoughts will change. As the core programming is shifted, the negative thoughts will change. They'll either become higher level negative thoughts, or they'll just disappear completely and be replaced by positive thoughts. So what if I can't stop my mind from thinking negative? Well, thinking negative is a manifestation of the lower self, and as we shift to become our higher self, the negative thoughts start to end. Thank you for the comment, Joan. I see you there. Thank you so much. If you're watching the replay on YouTube or Vimeo, you might not see the comments below. These are on Facebook Live, but those on Facebook can hear me live right now. Thank you, Joan. Thanks for your comment. So what if I can't stop my mind from negative thinking or thinking negative? So again, it's thinking negative is a manifestation of the lower self. It's a manifestation of the ego, and it's something that will go away as we deconstruct the ego. As we deconstruct the false programming or the subconscious blocks or the limiting beliefs, whatever term works for you, the negative thoughts will begin to change. And as the negative thoughts change, then life changes. And as life changes, we stop thinking negatively. So what if I can't stop my mind from thinking negatively? You don't have to stop your mind from thinking negatively to become your higher self, because as you become your higher self, thinking negatively will change. It'll naturally change. Next question, how many hours a week will I have to spend on inner work to succeed? This is one of my favorite questions. I work with coaching clients in my program, The Pilgrimage, which you probably have heard about. The link's in the description. Enrollment is open this week from April 15th to April 21st. Then we close enrollment down. This is a 7-week Become Your Higher Self Accelerator. I've got coaches and healers and leaders from all over the world in this program. And one of the questions I ask, or I get asked before they join is, well, wait a minute. How much time is this program going to take me? How many hours a week do I have to spend on the inner work in order to actually succeed in life? And the truth is, the inner work is life. Life is the work. Sure, we can do a coaching session, or we can read a book, or we can work on a program, or we can do some journaling, and that's all important. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you can skip that stuff. But what I am saying is that the inner work is a way of life. It's not something that a person has to only set time aside to do, and I have this 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week. No, you don't have to spend that much time on the inner work in order to experience transformation in your life. You don't have to spend that much time on inner work in order to become your higher self. Becoming the higher self, it's a little noisy. I'm outside, I'm in Tulum, Mexico. One of the taxes of living in a beautiful area is that sometimes there's noise. So I apologize if the noise becomes too much. The inner work is it's not just a practice. It is a practice. Sure, we meditate maybe, or we practice yoga, or we do deep work with a coach or a healer. But really, the inner work is a way of life. So how many hours a week will I spend on inner work in order to succeed? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because as we become more conscious, instead of living life unconsciously, which is the root of suffering, as we become more conscious, then the practice of becoming my higher self becomes my life. It becomes who I am and what I am and how I show up. So how many hours a week will I have to spend on inner work to succeed? Well, really, in my program, The Pilgrimage, which again, the link's in the description, some people spend as little as an hour a week on this program, and they experience massive success. Sometimes they spend as little as 30 minutes a week or 2 hours a week. Some of them that really want to go deep and they want to get things done really quickly will spend 5 hours a week. But it doesn't matter how much time you spend in the program. It matters how much you're applying the principles to your life. It matters how much you're living life as your higher self, which is a practice. Because we spend our whole lives living life as our lower self. We create a habit of living life as our lower self. So it's difficult sometimes for us to switch and live life as our higher self. It has to become a habit. It has to become a way of life. And so how many hours a week do I have to spend in the inner work to succeed? All of the hours, ultimately. But we're not, in the beginning, that's difficult. So the answer is whatever you can. Whatever you can. If it's an hour, great. If it's 30 minutes a week, great. If it's an hour a day, great. If it's 5 hours a day, great. Some days it's going to be 5 hours a day. Some days it's going to be no hours. Some week it's going to be an hour. Some weeks it's going to be no hours. That's just part of life. As we continue to set the intention to live life as our higher self, we'll find that space gets created for us. Question number 4. What if I don't have access to like-minded people in my area? So this was me for a long time. When I started my journey, I didn't have anyone around me who was living life as their higher self. In fact, I didn't even know anyone who had ever heard this term before. So, and let me know by show of likes if this has been you. Are you somebody who has struggled to be around a like-minded community of people who are living life as their higher self? It's getting kind of sunny here. The sun's coming down here in Mexico, so I know it's getting a little bright. What if I don't have access to like-minded people? Well, the truth is, like-minded people will show up as we do our work, as we transform ourselves, as we start to live life as our higher self. We'll start to attract the people into our life who are living at that higher level of consciousness, and we can join communities online of people who are living life as their higher self. In fact, that's why I created the Pilgrimage. It's a Become Your Higher Self Accelerator, and it's also a Become Your Higher Self mastermind community. We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time around. Jim Rohn said that. So it's very important, if we want to get to the next level in our healing and our transformation, that we spend time around like-minded people, that we spend time around people that are taking us to the next level. But they don't have to be in our area. They don't have to be around us if we don't have access to them in the beginning. We can spend time around them on Zoom or on phone calls or in virtual events. In the Pilgrimage, we have a live virtual event every month, and we have live classes, and we have coaching and a lot more. So, and we have a whole app. We have an online app on your phone and on your computer where you can get access to all of the other members in the community. That's why I created the Pilgrimage, because we need to be surrounded by like-minded people in order to reach that next level of success, in order to live life as our higher self. So what if I don't have access to like-minded people in my area? It's okay. You can get access to them virtually. You can get access to them as you share your truth. You'll start to attract those people into your life. That will be a natural manifestation of living life as your higher self. Next question, what if I can't afford to invest a lot of money into myself? When I started this journey, I didn't have money to invest in myself either. I had very little money. My first coaching program was about $2,000 US. That changed my life. Until then, I didn't really have a lot of money to invest in myself. So books and articles and YouTube videos and resources are a great place to start. Having deep conversations with friends are a great place to start. The value of the pilgrimage is about $15,000, but I'm offering it for $1,497. So it's a lot cheaper than it actually costs. So you don't need to have a lot of money to invest in yourself in the beginning in order to reach success when it comes to becoming your higher self. And then the last question is, can I really reach Ascension or my higher self and stay there? And the truth is, I believe that yes, absolutely, because people in history have done it. In fact, I experienced long periods of living life as my higher self, and when I crash back down or come back down to my lower self, it's only because I've discovered another pattern that needs to be healed and transformed. So when I become my lower self again, it's a gift because it's showing me what else needs to change. Can we get there and stay there? Of course we can. We hear about these gurus and ascended masters and these avatars all throughout history who have been able to achieve this. So it's just about having a strategy and having patience with ourselves as we get there. It's about getting to that point and being okay when we think we're slipping into our lower self, because that's necessary for us to discover what needs to happen next. Becoming our lower self is actually a sign that we're rising to higher levels, because what was once our lower self, or what's our lower self now, was once our higher self at another time in the past. What we think is our lower self was actually the highest level of our evolution at one time in the past. So likewise, when I started playing guitar, I didn't know how to play anything on guitar. So that was my highest level of accomplishment on the guitar. As I started to learn guitar, I learned more and more and more. Now I can finger pick and do all sorts of different things. And so my higher self when it comes to guitar is at a higher level. So I'll always be able to pick up a guitar and play something, and I'll always have something more to learn. And as we live life as our higher self, we continue to learn, we continue to grow, we continue to evolve to higher levels. But the things that used to trigger us don't trigger us anymore. There are lots of things. I used to get really triggered when I would play guitar and I didn't know a song. I don't get triggered by that anymore. I used to get really triggered going in a gym because I would feel insecure about myself. I don't get triggered by that anymore. I used to get triggered in my relationship with my family. I don't get triggered by them anymore. So these are natural products of evolving to a higher level. And so can you reach Ascension? Can you reach your higher self and stay there? Yes, absolutely you can. And it's a byproduct of doing the work and making living as your higher self a habit. So thanks for watching this video, everyone. I hope these answer your questions. If you have any other questions I haven't answered here about living life as your higher self, please post them in the comment section. And just a reminder that the enrollment for the pilgrimage is open only until Thursday. Then we shut it down again until later in 2022. The pilgrimage is a 7-week higher self accelerator. It's a 7-week process that takes you through the entire strategy to unbecome your lower self and become your higher self. And there are more than $10,000 worth of bonuses, meaning you get access to my entire community for a whole year. That includes monthly coaching events, live classes, assignments and tools that help you uncover your limiting beliefs and your subconscious blocks around money, around happiness, around creating intimate relationships in your life, around success and health, and all sorts of areas. We've got your back. We help you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and your consciousness. We help all dimensions. And the best part is there's a 30-day, no questions asked, no risk, money-back guarantee. So that means that if you join the pilgrimage and you decide it's not for you, you try out the coaching, you try out the events, you try out the program, you decide that it's not for you, no problem, I'll give you your money back. In fact, I call it a 30-day, spend a week locked in a cabin with your family money-back guarantee, which means that if you don't love the pilgrimage so much that you're willing to spend a week locked in a cabin with your family in order to stay a member, I'll give you your money back. Because that's how confident I am that this program is going to change your life. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know in the comment section what other questions do you have, or did I answer your question, or are there any other questions that you have about living life as your higher self? Thanks very much, everyone. I'll see you all soon. Time to listen to some drums in the background.